Douglas Bader, the famous aviator, came to IC Bookshop yesterday to autograph his new release biography. Lawrence Winley was there to talk to him about his new book.
Excuse me, we're
on the telly, are we? Very
Yes.
good show. How's that going on, right?
Imperial College Student Television. Do you think you could tell me why you think the students will be interested in your book?
I cannot think why the students are interested in my book, except there's a certain amount of amusing stuff in it, and of course one's always interested of the generation 2 or 3 before when they're still alive. And I'm delighted and most humbly grateful that the students are interested.
It's of course Imperial College is quite a large aeronautical department.
Well, that's the whole point, yes. That has a definite bearing on it, I'm delighted to say. No, I'm jolly pleased to be asked here to sign, actually.
At a point of general interest, do you still in fact fly or not? Have you
No, I
given up?
gave up at the end of last year, 1980, having done 52 years.
That must be something of a record.
I don't know, I shouldn't think so, but I mean, it's quite a long time.
And what, of course, flying has changed quite a bit since your day. What do you think of modern jets and so on? As
Well, I
opposed
mean, the thing is that they've got to fly in all weather. They get from A to B, and they have all these remarkable things like the inertia navigational systems and all these things which in the early days when I learned to fly in 1928 on World War I aeroplanes, when the engines did stop, and any field was a forced landing field. I mean, you simply put it down and that was that. I mean, they landed at about 35, 40 miles an hour, so there's no problem, no brakes, nothing like that. An open cockpit, it was tremendous fun. And of course one's seen the whole change very nearly. I mean, I was born in 1910 and Blériot flew the Channel in 1909, so I think that my interest in aviation due to the fact that obviously my mother was carrying me when watching Blériot flew the Channel, so it must have sort of had some effect on my interest in flying.
Yes, of course, people of our generation were about the same age, well, about 9 or 10 when men first landed on the moon.
Yes.
And you've lived to see that as well.
And you see, yes, and there were people alive then. It was 1967, you see, when the man landed on the moon. And people were alive then who saw the first powered flight by the Wright brothers in 1903. And then 67 years later, or 70 years later, somebody landed on the moon.
Okay, right, I'll leave you to carry on signing your books.
No,
okay. Thanks for talking to us.